Hello, thank you for joining us on business and economy. Of course, this today is going to be a special one. Let's begin with the economic news today. As Sabena is also sitting by my side here to take a look at some of what we have for you here. But let's begin, Sabena, with the economic news for today. Oil marketers, tanker drivers agreed to leave fuel after Senate broke a talks. Oil marketers and tanker drivers, as at yesterday by 7:30 p.m., resolved to start the lifting of fuel from depots across the country. But this outcome was brokered by the Senate as at yesterday, which was also attended by some of the oil marketers' representatives, tanker drivers, and oil workers as well in that meeting. But government officials, including Finance Minister Okojo-Iweala, was also there to also defend her own side, and everyone also agreed that there will be a lifting of fuel across the country as at yesterday. So we believe that, or probably rather, if before the day runs out, we'll start seeing fuel in our filling stations, given the agreement of yesterday, which was brokered by the Senate. Let's move away from that now and also take a look at...
I think we should have a listen to what happened on the Senate floor.
Well, I think we probably may not have that,
time?
We don't have that ASAP now, but when we have that, we might bring that to them. But let's quickly also take a look at it. The fact that NLC has also, taxed President Goodluck Jonathan to move against oil cabals across the country. They believe that what we're witnessing now is the fact that some of the oil cabals we have, or cartels as it were, or barons, if you prefer the word, are really holding the country to ransom. So we also, Yuba Waba, who is the NSC president, said in a statement on Monday that the cabals are only concerned with obtaining money from government without rendering the needed services under the cloak of subsidy. It also maintained that those responsible for the impunity and corruption in the oil sector cannot continue to hold the country to ransom.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you also, would you say this is really a good news for, especially looking at the realities that we are faced with, the fact that over 3 weeks or months now, let me put it that way, more than 3 weeks now, that the country is really, really running aground. And just recently, we're seeing how many, companies shutting down over fuel scarcity.
It's just not only business running down or being grounded. Commuters are also feeling it. Banks are closing early. And however, even the Nigerian Stock Exchange, most of the stockbrokers couldn't even get there. And so it's actually, it's across board. It's affecting almost everybody. In fact, yesterday was the height of it. We all felt the impact. A lot of them stayed at home, and those who couldn't get to the office, of course, they all stayed by. Everybody, it's cost across board. Even the Nigerian Stock Exchange, actually, for the investors, were actually in a pencil move over this crisis, and in fact they were also cautious in treading on the floor.
Just before we go to that,
just
before we go to that, let's quickly take a look at the history of fuel increase in Nigeria. Somebody sent this to me, and we also worked on it together, and we were looking at really since 1973 during the former head of state Gowon, and we've seen that between that time and now there has been an increase in the price of petrol motor spirit 17 times, and this really, we're asking questions 17 times since 1973 up to date. All the head of state we have really have increased the fuel or the price of a pump station from one time or the other. Let's just take a look quickly.
I think it was slightly over 17 times anyway.
Or over 17 times, if you call it. Also, some people say it about 23 times, but the calculation I have with me here is about 17 or 18 times since 1973. Wow. Isn't this really revealing? Looking at the fact that you have the former president Olusegun Obasanjo, fondly called OBJ,
Yeah.
increased like 7 times. You know, it was the 1978 when he took over power. There was an increase in the pump station,
Yeah, from 9
and
kobo to 15 kobo.
from 15 kobo. And look at that time. From that time, if you look at the time of Gowon, it was
Yeah.
sold at about 3 kobo.
Yeah.
50 kobo at that time, and now till date you're now seeing of a pump price going for us as high as 250 to 400 naira in the black market.
Yeah, in the black market. I was going to say that because yesterday I actually bought fuel for 150 naira per liter. In some other places was 500 per liter. So I bought 5 liters for 2,500, which was outrageous. And somebody was like, I expected to see something in the newspaper. And the first thing he saw, please let's pray for the new incoming government. He was shocked and said, is this the problem?
That was your
To
own
solve
experience.
the problem.
You bought how many liters?
2,500 for 5
4
liters.
Wow, interesting. But let's also look at, with the figures we have, also looking at the fact that the former head of state, the military head of state, also increased how many times? Like 4 times as well. That's talking about, Babangida also increased 4 times.
Yeah,
We also
4
have the
times.
former military head of
From
state as well.
1986 to 1991.
General Sani
from
Abacha also.
39 kobo to 70 kobo. So that was 4 times.
19, okay, when
Yeah.
he took over
Yeah,
power
yes.
at that time. Well, we also seen that General Sani Abacha also increased 4 times as well during when he was the military head of state 4 times. And
Was it
Abubakar
actually
also
4 times?
yes, about 4 times, 3 to 4 times there. If you calculate when he actually took over power, when he came in 1993 to 1997, 98.
Well, I actually saw that
you
there was
see-
a price drop at one particular time. I think that was in 1993
Yes,
when he dropped the price by
and
2
then-
naira, and which was ended up at 3 naira 25 kobo.
Then he came back again and increased. So let's say 4 times, 3 to 4 times
Yeah.
there. Then you also have Abubakar 2 times. You also have Gowon, who has done 1 time. Shagari also increased
Yes, Shagari increased
once as
actually,
well.
yes,
Then
once.
Murtala Mohammed also increased once as well. Shuneko, when he also came in to really broker between the military at that time, or the crisis we have at that time, also increased once time. And we also have the outgoing government also increased at a point as well, where they call it the New Year gift from the president,
Yes.
as well. So it's really revealing here.
You see, a lot of people are actually concerned about this fuel thing and fuel subsidy. So, and you're like saying, at one time, Okonjo Iweala was saying, look, leave this fuel crisis and let's stop the subsidy. And that was during the Occupy Nigeria. And now everybody's complaining, no, don't remove the subsidy. And some are saying, remove the subsidy. What should be or not should be?
But a lot of people say, most economists are saying that removing the subsidy will really solve Nigeria's problem, because at the end of the day, you're going to have everybody having the fuel. Why? Because nobody will be a monopoly or over the market, or will be a king in the market, as it were, where you have somebody, all those who are marketers now alone are the ones selling. But then you're going to have, according to them, you're going to have more people come into the market to start also trading as well. So you are going to see like what you have in the telecom now, where tariff price is different from one network to another network. So that is exactly what we're going to witness. But we're hoping to see someday that it will be removed.
Well, I think by and large, the subsidy should be removed. Let's know where we are.
Let's take a look at what went down in the market as at yesterday. Taking a look at the performance of the capital market. It shed about 0.35%, opening the week on the negative note.
Yes.
You have the figure, Sabena.
Oh yes, yesterday the market actually went down by 0.35%. That's the index, and it closed with 34,151.81 basis points, and the market capitalization was 11.60 trillion naira, which it actually went down, because if you have to compare Friday, from Monday through Friday, it's actually for 5 consecutive days it was actually flat. And if you have to compare even Friday and Monday, the difference, because the all shares index was 0.54%, and the market capitalization was 11.64 as compared to yesterday, which was 11.60 trillion naira. And the all shares index, yes, 34,272.09 basis point, which was on Friday. If you have to compare the difference, it's about 120.29 basis point. That was the difference.
Let's quickly look at. Hello. I think we're live on phone now from Lagos to take a look at the performance of the market yesterday and preview into what the week will look like. Just before you continue with some of the figures, let's join Ambrose Omodian, the Chief Research Officer of the Invest Data Limited. Hello, good morning, Ambrose.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, great. You're live on the show now. Just tell us exactly what is going to happen in the market this week. Yesterday, we saw that the market started the week on the negative note. Now, how would you attribute the performance, the negative sentiment witnessed in the market yesterday, and of course the outlook for the market in the week?
Yeah, actually, everything has like now it's a week of the main transition from another movement to another. We expect the market to frame up. But due to the nature of some macroeconomic issues that we are seeing, some of the effects strategy brought about what the market is yesterday. The market lost over 41 billion yesterday, just because people are still at home. If people are buying a liter of fuel for almost 400 to 500 naira, so it shows that everybody was sitting at home. They could not put the office because there's no bit of transport. That is what the market what it did yesterday. But during the end of the day yesterday, towards the end of the day, the federal government and the marketers finished their business, and they made the breaking news that within 6 hours, fuel will be everywhere in the nation. And this one I can see the news. You can see the cars are moving now. People that were not selling their people, it's a sign of, response to normalcy, which is good for the economy. But I'm telling you that by tomorrow, we'll see the market to frame up, and after this week, when the main transition is affected by on the 29th of May, and I see a new government coming in, and they roll out their policy for the new government, I think they're going to give the foreign investor and local investor more insight on where to invest, and that also boost our parameter acquisition.
Okay, just before we Ambrose, just before we go, tell us how the rest of the week will look like. How soon is the negative sentiment will end?
People that have said that have sold their stock because of fear and people for that to enter. I see the market bouncing back. But the government coming before now, they are in Nigeria. You know what's happening in Nigeria. If I put both together to put Nigeria out of this situation, that's going to attack both foreigner and the local investors in the market. I don't see the market going down further from next week. But the market will grab the reverse within this end of this week. I want to speak over to next week. And also, you know, as from the month of July, we're expecting a second quarter result of confidence. When you start coming and say they are good and positive, that will be able to drive the market in an upward direction. For me, it's the right time for a good investor to look at some of the assets at the discount and start buying a position for the future. The market is there for us, whether the economy or the institution, the market is there for us. I also expect that the new government will do more to boost the economic activity of the nation. So the fundamental moves stronger.
All right.
That will drive the market. There's no cost to allow the market to stay in the right way.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ambrose Amodian, for giving us your time on the show.
So it appears, that Even
good
though
news, he's saying that this negative sentiment will not continue
but
throughout the
investors
world.
are not actually excited, and they're actually trading with caution anyway.
Well, of
Over
course,
this whole
according
thing.
to
And he
him,
didn't even say anything about the tight liquidity, the banks,
yeah, but
due to the CRR, that's the cash reserve
yeah,
requirement.
according to him, he's really looking at the fact that this incoming government may have an influence in the market, and everybody is looking forward to see how his personality will impact into the market. And good news, he says this negative sentiment will not continue. So let's hope that
That's just a forecast.
play out well for the investors, in the interest of investors in the market.
Okay, now let's take a look at the Naira. Well, the Naira depreciated by 41 basis points and to settle mid-price at 197 Naira 88 kobo per US dollar. And of course, the depreciation also stands by 6.74%. And also, the Treasury bills market yields declined across all tenors to settle at the average market yield at 13.92%. And for the 2 months tenor was 0.74% to peg at 13.15%. So 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months tenor settled at 13.13%, 13.67%, 14.21%, and 14.58% respectively. However, the offer yields also closed at 14.61%.
Well, of course, this is where we round off this segment now. When we come back from this short break, it will be time to talk about the tax system in Nigeria, talking about, increasing IGR. How efficient is tax system in Nigeria right now? We'll be having an analyst after this break. Join us again.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.